My name is Rudy Rochman. I'm here today at Columbia University to share a message for students who stand up for Jewish rights in Israel. Professors and students often try to hijack the term Zionism and associate to something completely different than what it really means. Zionism is the self-determination of the Jewish people on their ancestral homeland, which has nothing to do with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict or the consequences of the wars that were waged due to ethnic conflict. So how do they push this message to the rest of the student body? They use a tool called intersectionality, and they associate the suffering of Palestinians, of course only when it has to do with Israel, with the suffering of other minority communities. So they'll go to the Black Student Association, for example, and tell them, you suffer from police brutality and from racism, and associate and say, well, we suffer from Israeli racism and IDF brutality. And then they'll go to the Native American group and say, some white colonialists came and stole your land. Well, the Jews are a bunch of made-up white colonialists that came and stole our land. And they do the same thing with every single minority group, whether it be women, LGBTQ+, Hispanics, and the goal by doing this is by getting the entire left, which really focuses on minority rights, and the entire campus by focusing on all identities, and getting all of these communities to see their suffering and pain directly linked or associated to Israel. The question is, why does Israel have a right to exist? For too long, when advocating for Israel on college campuses, we've been using language and answers that don't resonate with the younger generation. We've been talking about the technology that Israel creates. We've been talking about how after the Holocaust, Jews needed a safe place. We've been talking about how Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. However, none of these answers actually answers the question. Israel has a right to exist because the Jewish people are a 4,000-year-old native population to that land that were persecuted out of that land. During that time, maintained a constant presence in that land, and after 2,000 years in diaspora, we created the most successful Indigenous Liberation movement that ever existed, where we returned to our land, freed the land from the British, and revived our civilization. A few years ago, when I was choosing the college that I wanted to go to, I kept being told that since I'm a proud Jew, I should not go to certain college campuses that were anti-Israel. However, the way I saw it, it was us that needed to be there. We are in need in these college campuses. Columbia University at the time was rated the #1 most anti-Semitic campus in North America, and so I decided this was the exact place I wanted to go. As Jews, along with the support of our allies, it is our responsibility to go to these places, to generate conversation, and to narrate the story of Israel. A college campus really represents the future political and intellectual class of the world, so what the world will look like comes directly from this place. Never be afraid of who you are, and never be afraid to stand up for what you believe in. Do not be a fan on the sideline, be a player on the field. If you like our work and would like to support our team in generating content that educates, inspires, and empowers the youth in standing up for Israel and Jewish rights, please click on the link below.